Watch this video to learn how to play The Haunted Mouse from the Piano Adventures Level 1 lesson book. Before you continue to learn The Haunted Mouse, it is a good idea to first learn how to play the keyboard trick from the technique book. I am linking a video here that you can use to do that. This is The Haunted Mouse. Let's go over some details. First, this song is in 4/4 time. That means that there are 4 beats in every measure of music. Second, our tempo marking tells us that this should be played as though it is scampering along. It is up to your artistic interpretation to decide what that means. Looking at the notation on this page, you might notice that there are several rainbow-looking slurs throughout the page. Some of those are slurs, but some of them are ties. Let's examine that a little more closely. Here you see 2 middle C's. We know that these are the same note because they are on the exact same line on the staff. When I draw this object to connect them, it is connecting 2 notes that are in the same place, and because of that, it is called a tie. The key here is that the notes that are combined by this curved symbol are the same note. A tie is an object that connects 2 or more of the same note. The tie's job is to increase the length of the note. It acts like a musical plus sign. Yes, just like the addition that you do in school. When we see it, we add the note values for the notes that are included in it, and it becomes one longer note that is equal in length to the value of all of the notes combined. In this example, the value of the first note is 2. We take that and put in our plus sign and add it to the other note, which also has a value of 2. Together they are equal to 4. This is one note that we will hold for 4 beats. And that's a tie. Now let's look at something different. Here we see 3 notes. The first note is a C, but the next 2 notes are not the same. We know that they are different because they exist on different lines and spaces from each other. When I draw this symbol to connect them, it is connecting notes that are not the same, and it is called a slur. The slur is a music notation that connects notes that are moving. When we see a slur, we play the notes that it connects legato, which means that we play them all smooth and connected. Now that we've taken a moment to remember the difference between a tie and a slur, we can pay careful attention to play them correctly in The Haunted Mouse. Let's go through the music and mark them so that we're prepared. I'm going to mark all of the slurs yellow and all of the ties blue. You might want to mark them on your music too. We're going to learn to play this piece in sections. Let's begin by looking at the first 2 lines. Take a look at the first 2 measures of each of these lines. What do you notice about these lines? Do they look familiar to you? If you said yes, that is because these are just like the keyboard trick. Now let's turn our attention to the last half of each of these lines. Everything in these boxes is moving by steps. They move from space to line, line to space, and so forth. All steps in the second half of the first 2 lines. Let's look at one more thing. If you look at the first measure of each of these 2 lines in the right-hand part, all of the notes have a dot below them. Remember, a dot that's below means to play staccato. These notes will be short and crisp, while the notes at the end of each line will be the opposite. They will be legato, smooth and connected. We know that because of the slur that combines all of the notes. Looking at hand placement, your left hand second finger will be on A, just like keyboard trick, and your right hand 1 and 3 will be on C and E, also just like keyboard trick. Line two's note pattern is so similar to line one with one key difference. It starts one note higher. So instead of playing 1 and 3 with your right hand, you will play 2 and 4 on D and F. Now, the top line will end on an A, and the second line will end one note higher on a B. So everything in that second line is just one note above the first line, except for your first left hand A. That is always the same. Let's head to the piano to play it. So we have the A that's going down. It's going to stay down while we go bounce, 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 and then land. Ta, then step up. Ta. Now we're going to step down, 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 ta, ah. 1, 2, here we go. A, hold it down. Now bounce, 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 hold, step up. Now all of these are legato. A comes up, connect all these notes, no breaks. Ta, ah. Line 2 is the same pattern. It's just one note higher for everything. Let's try it together. 1, 2, ready, go. A, hold the A down. Now 2 and 4. Bounce, bounce, land. Ta, step up. Ta, and now all connected. Down, 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 ta, ah. Let's play lines 1 and 2 together now. So it's in both lines the A in your left hand, so that doesn't change in the beginning. But in the first line, other than that, we're starting here, and in the second line, we're starting here. So line 2 is just one note higher than line 1. 1, 2, beginning, go. A, now bounce, 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 land, step up. A comes up and everything's legato going down. Ta, ah, rest. A, 2 and 4, bounce, bounce, land, step up. Now A comes up, everything's legato going down. Stop here. Ah, rest. Great job. Now let's take a look at line 3. This line beginning in measure 9 is very reminiscent to keyboard trick. In the first 2 measures, you're going to play a rhythmic pattern that involves right hand notes E and C with fingers 1 and 3. Then in the next 2 measures, you're going to play the same rhythmic pattern, but you will now use fingers 2 and 4, which will be on the notes F and D. The rhythmic pattern you're going to play is very slightly different than it was in keyboard trick. It adds one extra note. It is left, bounce, 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 hold, hold. There is one more thing that I want you to notice about this line. In the last 2 measures, it says over the top of them, grow louder. We're going to play each one of these measures slightly louder than the one before. So we'll start out piano, which is what we are playing the first 2 lines. The next measure will be mezzo piano, slightly louder. The next measure slightly louder at mezzo forte, and the last measure will be forte. Let's head to the piano to try it. Let's try it together. This time we're focusing on the notes, but also having good staccatos. 1, 2, ready, go. Put A down. Now bounce, bounce, bounce. Ta, ta. A again. 2 and 4. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Ta, ta. We want to make this line get louder and louder and louder. We've been playing piano up until now, so we start piano, and we're going to make the second measure like it's mezzo piano, the third measure like it's mezzo forte, and the last one like it's forte. Let's try to do that. 1, 2, beginning of 9, go. A, piano, bounce, 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 mezzo piano, hold, hold. A again, mezzo forte. Bounce, 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 forte. Hold, hold. Great. We have just line 4 to look at now. And line 4, it's really important to pay close attention to the notes. You want to keep your eyes right on the note heads and really look at what direction they are going. As we take a look at line 4, one of the helpful things to notice is that all of the notes in this run, that is the first 2 measures plus 1 note, are steps. They are all moving by just 1 step, so we only need to look at the direction, whether it is moving up or down as we play. Let's make some notes on your music so that you will be able to watch this carefully. We start on E and then we step up and then down, down, and then up and down, down again. And then we go into the left hand for 2 more, down, down. The last 3 notes of this line are played on the very lowest key on the piano, which happens to be an A. And when we play them, they are staccato, but they are not forte. They are piano, so they should be soft, and we need to use a light touch that stays right close to the keys to achieve that when we're playing staccato. Let's go to the piano and try this. Okay, let's try line 4 together, beginning with 3rd finger on E. Really get ready to keep your eyes on those note heads so that you can look at the direction that we are moving. 1, 2, ready, go. E, up, down, down, up, down, down, and down, down. Now very quiet. Bounce, bounce, land. We're going to play the whole song now. From measure 1. 1, 2, ready, go. Piano A, bounce, 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 ta, up. And now go down till you get back to A. All legato here. Ta, ah, rest A, 2 and 4. Same pattern, 1 note higher, step up. And now legato all the way back down to B. Ta, ah, rest piano A, E and C, bounce, bounce, hold, hold, mezzo forte, bounce, 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 forte.